All right, you guys, welcome to Rise and Thrive. I'm Tricia Turner. It is time for us to get started. Coming to you live every, what is today? Monday, like 12 p.m.
Monday.
Central Standard Time. A little bit late today, coming off of a holiday weekend. And you know what? We are in the second half of the year. So this is the first Monday of July. And in the real estate world, second half of the year is where most of your closings and your income come from. So we're going to focus on that stuff today. So I have Maggie and Paul with me today. Welcome, you guys.
Hey there.
What's up?
Super excited. We talked this morning on our Rise and Thrive community about activities. And there's a lot of people in the real estate space that claim these big goals, talk about these big goals, talk about this big vision, but then very few of them actually hit those targets. And in the real estate space, your activities are going to determine your outcome in everything. I mean, you can say you're going to make 300 calls and you can say you're going to do, 5 closings a month, but it takes a lot of effort and precise activities to actually do those things. Maggie, here we are, first Monday of July. Maggie's quick with her team to, like, if they're not showing up, if they're not doing what she knows they need to be doing, then maybe they're not a good fit. Where are you at as far as your people, your vision, your goals for mid-year, Maggie?
So I noticed that I have turned it up a notch here at the office and with my business, but I have noticed that some of my team members' behavior, they're not coming into the office. And then when you don't come into the office, you don't have multiple closings. You probably have one closing, no closings. But definitely when I notice a behavior when they would come in and clock in and check in and roll up their sleeves, 4 units easily every single month.
Okay, so let's stop right there.
Now with my assistant, I was like, something's up. Maybe like, is it clean? Do we need a clean house, or like what? Or do we just need to have that serious talk?
Okay, so now when you look at like their activities, and people like talk about this all the time where they're saying, well, I'm doing these activities, but what are you seeing when they're here in the office? Because you see them, what they're doing. When they're not there, is it lack of social media? Is it lack of calls? Like, what are they not doing?
I think it's lack of calls. You have to pick up the phone.
Do you think that there are fewer people answering, or do you think there are fewer attempts on the caller side?
I think it's the attempts.
Yeah.
You're going to shoot your shot.
You are.
Yes.
You are.
I do every
day. You're sitting there doing it with them, correct?
Yes, I do. On my way to work, I really, really like to make calls. Crazy when I'm in the car. I'm just like dialed in. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And then whenever I get to a stopping point, that's when I do my recaps.
So do you do okay, then why am I asking you that? Are you driving yourself and making your calls, or someone driving you and you're making the calls?
Either or. Whether someone's driving me or I'm driving myself, I'm making calls. I try to do the whole podcast and like listen to something motivational or no, it doesn't work.
You're just straight in.
I love to make my calls in the car.
Okay. Talking about calls, when you look at, and I said it to our group this morning too, I was like, if you'll just focus on the number of conversations, and I told them, I said, you can even put it like this, 20 conversations per day, 5 days a week should be the goal, and 10 minimum per day. So that's a range of 50 to 100 conversations a week. Every week, without fail, you will have a pipeline of business. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree 1,000%. And I don't think that it should be Monday through Friday. I truly believe it should be a Monday through Sunday thing.
Yeah.
There's no scattered out like a days off in real estate on Saturdays and Sundays.
But if you tell them, like when you're talking to your people and your team and stuff, if you tell them it's just 5 days a week, it's a mindset. It's like, oh, well, I have 2 days. I don't have to do it. Right? But you can think about it too. Like I told him this morning, if you're trying to count conversations, it's 100 conversations a week, whether you break it up to 20 a day, 100 in one day, whatever you're doing, 100 conversations per week. Do it as you see fit. You could also go out there and door knock and do open houses, and that would be your quickest way to 100, and you're face to face with these people.
Yes.
It's just the conversations.
It's just a conversation.
Stop overthinking it.
Truly stop overthinking it.
So, Paul, when you look at what we implemented, and we just started today, so we decided as a whole, because if you think about it, when you're running an organization, you're part of an organization, your goal, like I know what I can do myself, numbers wise, but I can only do so much by myself. But collectively, together, we can hit 100 million. Why not? It's completely doable. However, we can't do it if you're at your house and I'm in the office and you're at your house, because you're not going to perform. I'm going to perform. You're not going to. But so then why should you be part of the prize? Like you shouldn't, because you didn't help. You didn't get us there, but we're going to get there. So we decided it's now, we said it last week, it's halftime. We're coming up on the second half of the year. In the second half, you better like come out strong. We're going to come out swinging, and yet we have to stay that way, because if you look at the timeline of the second half of the year, we have the freaking holidays that roll on in here. We have Thanksgiving and holiday and Christmas. That if you look at that takes up like 3 weeks of the year, because after December 15th, things come to almost to a halt. And then you got that week of Thanksgiving where nobody wants to do anything. So there's 3 weeks out of our 6 months where people don't really work. So our time is much shorter to get the stuff done. So we got to go harder. So we decided, you know what, we got to change things on our team. So Paul, what were some of the things, and one big thing that we implemented starting today?
Well, our motto for sure is better together, and we build better lives by building better agents. So how did we propose doing that? By being better together. So everybody comes into the office from 9:30 to 12, and it's 100% focused on getting your conversations in. So it's not let's hang out, let's talk about the coffee machine, let's talk about something random. It is doing work. So if you're in an environment to where you're seeing others actually being productive instead of washing clothes, playing video games, or Netflixing, then it would force you to do it as well. And if it doesn't force you to do it, you're going to feel uncomfortable and you're going to leave. So
Yes.
Another thing too, like, and we started this morning showing them, because we start every morning getting your mind right. And your mind right, skills right before we ever hit the phones. And then we started this morning showing them, like, here's where your sources come from. So you're going to call, you're going to text, you're going to email, you're going to DM, you're going to snail mail, like all door knock, like all these things. And here's where your sources come from. We went over Remind, we went over RedX, went over our ponds. We showed them organically how to find people to talk to. And all of it that we do is focused on finding sellers, because I do believe that you should build a seller business. And when you build a seller business, a seller heavy business, you'll never ever want for business. It comes. And so we focus primarily on how to do that. And we started the rhythm showing them that. And then I'm out there with them. Paul's with them too. And part of, I believe, where real estate agents get hung up, or perhaps use it as an excuse, is that they say, I don't know who to call. I don't know what to say. And then they get frustrated when they do find like some of the tech stack, and they're like, I don't know how to make this work. I don't know how to do this. So Paul and I are both in the room with them. There is no excuse whatsoever. Our time, my time, is there to make money and to hunt for business. I'm hunting for business. I'm closing up deals that are loose, that are like, this is money to the company. Like, we got to make this happen. And so I'm not there to answer their questions. I'm not there to do anything other than make money that goes into the company, period, till 12 o'clock. Paul is there to answer those tech questions. Like, okay, you're stuck on this. Well, here's the solution to that. So there's no excuse as to why you can't talk to 100 people in a week. Yeah. What's your thoughts, Maggie, in your office environment on what you see in the first half of this year that worked and didn't work, and what you guys or your agent should do differently second half?
I added 2 new team members about a month ago. And when they came on, I was very clear with them. I was like, hey, I'm not growing my team. They're like, well, we're not leaving until we join. So they ended up joining. So far, it's been working out. But I feel like the current team that I had prior, they're just they're all very, very strong. I don't feel like I have to tell them to, hey, pick up the phone and call, but they're just not doing it here. And I notice whenever they're here, they get stimulated, and then they just see me going, they see my assistant going, they see my transaction coordinator going. So it's a stimulation. It's proximity.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's proximity. That's what it is. I feel like proximity is golden. For example, when I'm near you, Tricia, or Amy, I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. I'm a self-starter. I'm extremely, I'm a visionary, but when I'm around y'all, that just is ignited even more, like 10x. And I notice that when the girls are around in the office environment and we are close to each other, I just see that they're just like, okay, hey, I want to do this. I want to buy a lake house. I want to do this. And I can tell them, okay, if you want to buy that lake house, well, then this is what needs, these are the activities that need to go behind that.
Do you think, Maggie, that, because what Paul and I have noticed is that now our core group that we have right now, which was really 10 that have been with us for 2 years, I think now, right, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much 2 years. And so we've had some come and go, but this 10 they're all friends. They all communicate with each other. We have a group text that we go on, and we communicate within that text, all of us together. The ones that we've seen come and go, do you see on yours where they'll be really, really good, come out strong, come out the gate, like full force, they're great, good team fit, and then they start 30 days in, start dwindling, start not showing up, start not making the calls, and then they become negative? Do you see that?
I have seen it. I don't have anyone like that now. I don't think, praise God for that, because that is so exhausting. It is. It takes, it's unnecessary and it's exhausting. And you know what? Every time I've had someone like that join, I've always had a gut feeling, and I'm like, no. Like I can look past it. And now, absolutely not. Like if I have that gut feeling or any sign, any red flags, I'm just like, look, baby, you can come with Realty of America. Here's our training program. Like I'm here, of course. You can lean on me, and I'm gonna help you. But it's very important for me to protect my environment and just everything that I'm doing, because I'm running. I have a farm that I need to build. I mean, I'm me and my mom and Jose and my administrative team. We're 100%. We're full force right now. And if anybody's going to come and mess with that, we're just not here for it.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you a question. People are probably thinking this, or if they're not, they will after I say it, because I get asked this a lot. Would it be easier for you, so it's a two-part question, would it be easier for you to run lean, just you and your family and admins, and run and do what you do? And if so, why then do you grow a team and have other agents come and join?
The team that I have, I feel like we mesh very well together. You know, I see the value in them. They see the value in me. We're like this.
Yeah.
And you're right, Paul. The ones that don't do the activity and that are not performing at the same level that we are, they tend to fall off. And they always do.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They go with another brokerage, they go with another team, and their level of performance is worse most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. And also, or they end up getting a job.
Yes.
Like a regular 9-to-5 job, which is fine, because not everybody's cut out for real estate. Real estate is tough. Like we go out there every single day, and we're hunting, we're helping, we're giving. And it is very tough. Besides like growing a team and like taking care of your pipeline, the transaction itself can be chaotic.
It can. They are.
Fires, they are chaotic, and you need to be you just need to know how to put out these damn fires that come up.
We have a conversation with any agent that's looking to join or that is part of the team, and it comes down to choosing not to do the work. And if they're choosing not to do the work, that is a deal. If you have somebody that pays your bills, if you have a savings account that you're working on. But I have one conversation with them. It's if you were working like a W-2 job somewhere and you were maybe making minimum wage, right? Yes, you are incurring debt by driving there. You are incurring debt by eating food there, but you're receiving a payment from that employer that covers that debt cost. Now, when you're in real estate, if you choose not to do the work, there is no income. So that debt that you're receiving from choosing not to do the work is accumulating. So in being an entrepreneur, you're really putting yourself in a very deep, dark hole a year from now, 2 years from now, if you continue to do that. But if you choose to put in the work and do what people like you, Maggie, Tricia tells a person to do, then you can then become productive to where you can make an endless amount of money. But if you're not willing to do the work, you honestly need to go find a job opportunity, because it's not fair for you and it's not fair for your family to put yourselves in debt if you chose to take a job.
You know, Maggie, when I was like looking, because putting our team on a revised agreement with standards, the only thing that we changed was that they would be required to come into the office. And when you run a team, it's like they're not employees. Nope, they're independent contractors. We're all independent contractors.
Mm-hmm.
It's very and it's not an employee contract by any means. This is just what we say. In order for us to work together, it has to happen, because I'm in the office every day. Paul's in the office every day. I believe in being in the office every day. I've been coming to an office every day for years. That's where I'm most productive, because I'm focused. And I think one of the things that happens is that we know from being productive that the most productive time for a real estate agent hunting is before noon. Mm-hmm. It's in the morning time before noon, and you do all of it by noon, because in afternoon you're on appointments. You're out showing property. You're going to closings. You're going to listing appointments. You're doing all the things that go feast on what all the hard work that you did. You hunted in the mornings. But what ends up happening is that most real estate agents, because they don't get to a level of constant closing, so they're just running, they're being reactive. So they're going to buyer appointments at 10 o'clock in the morning. They're going to inspections at 11 o'clock in the morning. They're going to a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're jumping on some Zillow freaking meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning. They're doing all things that are in their hunting time, and then they make excuses for it. They're like, oh, I didn't make my calls on Monday because I had this meeting at 10 o'clock. I'll just do it tomorrow. Well, then something else comes tomorrow. And then what ends up happening is they've gone a whole week. Now it's Friday, and they're like, I didn't get one day of my prospecting done. That's okay. And they give it, it's a game they play in their head. It's okay. I'll start next week. And then it just repeats itself, and it continues doing this. And in the meantime, you've now not went out and hunted. If you were like in the old days, ready to go kill everything that you ate, imagine that. Like if you came home every day and you're like, I didn't go shoot anything or kill anything today, so you guys can wait till tomorrow to eat. And then you did it for 5 days. And you're like, oh, dang, y'all must be freaking starving. Like that's what you do to your family.
Okay, because you don't need, no. Oh, imagine like, oh, we don't, no, for sure. And Tricia, I know you're locked in because I've been to your office. You even have a bed in your I was like, what? Do y'all live here? Like, what is this? And you know what? I get it. I have a couch. I have a couch in my office, and it's not that people can come and sit and chit chat and drink coffee with me. You know, I have that freaking couch in my office.
You take a nap.
I'm going to curse because shit gets crazy sometimes, and I need a 10-minute nap. And you know, after like crazy after something crazy, I go in my couch, I put my hair over my eyes, and I just, every time my assistant sees me doing that, she's like, oh damn, she just went through it. And the couch is in my office so I could snap out of like the craziness.
Yes. Nope. But you know, even when I was like, I told Paul, I was like, okay, because in order for us to reach the goal, we set a big goal, and it's 100 million. So in order for us to reach that, we have to be laser focused. We've hit 75. We've never hit 100. It's like, we're going to hit 100. So we have to do things differently. Well, if I'm saying that we all have to be together in the office making calls, so there's energy, there's synergy, you hear the calls, well, I'm going to win, you're going to win, we're all going to win. And when collectively we hit 100, we all win. Okay, well, the way that this has to work then is that our time, my time in the mornings is sacred, but your time in the morning has to be sacred as well. Therefore, you got to stop scheduling doctor's appointments, stop scheduling your kids' doctor's appointments before noon, stop scheduling anything before noon, period. Because every day that you do something like that is a day that you don't feed your family, period. And if you will train yourself, we all have the same 24 hours a day. If you will train yourself to be available anytime after 12 for your closings, you can go to a closing at 1 o'clock and it will fund that day. There's no reason in the world that you can't. You can. The only exception is if it's a house that has to be sold because your people are selling in the morning and they're buying in the afternoon. Then there's the exceptions to that, but it doesn't become a daily thing. And and for us, for me to make a commitment to be in the same room with the agents instead of just in my own zone, it's a sacrifice because I'm in the zone. Like if I'm here, I'm focused, I'm locked in. Like I don't need you. Everything is on. All my stuff is here. I got to move now to another location into our training center, and I'm okay with that if the results are what we want. If I'm focused on the prize and the results come, then it's a win. But I'm only willing to give it a certain amount of time, and I'm not going to keep sacrificing my stuff. But what I had to do, and I'm having to do constantly, is tell anybody, like, I'm not available until 12:01. Like, so don't schedule a meeting, don't schedule a call, don't schedule a demo, because we're building a company too. So it's like we get these things that we have to do to build the business. Well, I can't do it before 12 o'clock because then I am taking away from the time I said I was going to do with them, you know?
Yes. Well, I went to your office before 12 and you're right. You didn't come downstairs to be like, hey, check in on me. Absolutely not. You were still locked in.
No. And you know, I think that's one of the biggest disciplines that real estate agents have got to understand. Like this business, you have to have discipline in this business or you're just going to exist. And I don't think there's room for that as we continue to evolve. Like Paul shows us on how to use artificial intelligence and how to have agents and people do your work for you. So as these things continue to evolve into who knows what in the next few months, I think it's the agents have to learn these daily disciplines and habits that then form a routine so that they can feast and not famine. You know?
I agree.
Like when we're this morning, most of the time I'm in my cave working on our CRM, our website, whatever tasks that do not require me to communicate with humans. I'm usually doing that. But thanks to Codex and using the agents, my tasks, they're automated. So I had my screen up with the CRM, updating lead statuses, updating all the leads in our system, removing ones that did not need to be in there, tagging the ones, putting the correct information, organizing our database while I'm helping everyone else. So my agent is running. I showed everybody that it was going. As a matter of fact, right now, while we're on this podcast, I am still getting work done. It is still cleaning up our CRM. And the only thing it's asking me to do is approve or deny. So because of artificial intelligence, it allows me to free up more time to help our agents more. So, and I show them how to do it. And it's not complicated at all.
I love that.
Maggie, on your listings, are you and your family the only ones doing listings or all the agents doing listings?
No, all of the agents do listings.
Okay. So on your listings, I'll tell you something I just told them this morning that some of the big teams are having massive success with. So we know listings always should go live on Thursdays.
Yes.
And that's when the internet's most active. It's Thursdays after 4. However, and then the way we've always done it for years is listing goes live on Thursday, no showings until the Saturday and Sunday open houses. So showings open up Saturday at 1 o'clock. And then that's when the open house starts, first one. Where other teams are having, because sellers are the number one thing. We're always looking for sellers. And we know every time a for sale sign goes up, there's 1 or 2 people on that street that are thinking of selling because they're driving by and they're seeing the for sale sign. Well, here's another way to capitalize on that. So number one, as soon as you can get a coming soon sign up, no longer, like we want our coming soon signs up usually a week before they go live, sometimes that same week, but we don't want them up for a long time because then by then it's stale. We're trying to capture that first like momentum where they're like, oh, a for sale sign's up, like how much are they going to sell this house for? We're trying to find those sellers that are like, I think I can get our house sold too. So coming soon sign goes up either the week before or week of. Listing goes live still on Thursdays, but then what's happening is door knocking is done on Thursday. Listing goes live, door knocking is done. Door knocking is done 5 to 7. You're door knocking. You're door knocking the whole street, whether it's 10 houses, 40 houses, whatever it is, anyone that's driving by and seeing that sign. Okay. You're door knocking with an open house invite and an RPR report, giving them an estimate of value. And the script is that you're door knocking them because you're inviting to them to the private happy hour that you're having tomorrow night, which will be Friday night from 4 to 6, exclusively just for the neighbors. And we're doing this because we believe that a lot of times you guys that live on the street have a friend or family member that's thinking about living here or that you want to. So we're giving you guys first rights to see the house. The public gets, I know. And
I love that.
Same. And we're going to start implementing because number one, it's a conversation starter. You're giving them a private invite to this exclusive happy hour that I'm having. And everyone here's happy hour. So exclusive happy hour that we're having tomorrow from 4 to 6. Oh, and by the way, we're also running estimates of value for everyone on the street. Here's yours. That's it. Now, if you're going from 5 to 7 and you're door knocking, you're going to capture the people that are coming home. A lot of times you capture them in their driveway. And then if you're inviting them to a happy hour from 4 to 6, a lot of the times your targets that are going to show up are the moms that get their kids from school. They're usually done by 4 and it's Friday. So it's wine that you're having at the happy hour, right? So, and it's free, of course. And you want to use that brand new listing as like a place where people come and have a drink or two. They'll stay, and the sellers they can meet each other. Sometimes they'll know each other. You're the source of all that. You're just there, like being the resource, having conversations, and you dropped off their estimate of value the day before. So now it's like you're like so top of mind to them. And then of course the public house is the very next day and Sunday. You need to start doing that.
That is golden.
Isn't
Absolutely. It? Yes, it is.
I know. We're going to start too. I'm so excited.
Where did you hear this? Or who, your coach? Or it's great.
It is. Yes. And it's like, it's one element. And years ago, like when I was a solo agent, I did open houses, I did happy hours, I did all that stuff. So I know that it works, but you get so busy. And when you're like running a team, it's like you get out of some of the stuff that you know that works. But that, like, it's such a streamlined process done correctly that how could you not capitalize and find sellers that were wanting to talk to you in that short window of time while it's top of mind for them?
That is golden.
Yes.
Golden. So this little clip needs to be cropped and then put out as a reel.
It's, yes. And I think so many people, and I get it, like sellers can be hard and frustrating, and you hear people negative. They're like, oh, well, homes aren't selling right now anyway. I'm going to focus on buyers. Well, you know what? We're just in a weird market. And I actually think even though sales are down right now, and they are down, and that's okay. It's a market that had to recorrect itself. Home values were inflated. People were flipped out on the freaking interest rate. Well, now guess what? We're still at the interest rate where we've been steadily now the entire year and some of last year. So this is the norm. So you people that are sitting out there like, I'm going to wait for rates to get to 5.5. Well, probably by the time we get to 5.5, you're going to look at home values starting to come back up. So the smart buyer buys right now. Well, it's a freaking buyer's field day out there, and you have choices all over the place. Makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Something else that I know that I lack on, that I personally want to get better at, is scheduling content days.
Same. It's hard.
I haven't.
Because we're running all the time.
Because we're running, and it's something that I've been thinking about for about a month and a half, and I just need to get on it. I need to do it.
You know what? So I was reading this thing on that very same thing. And the problem is is that we schedule things back to back to back. My schedule has there's like nothing in between. There's never a buffer. It's one thing to another. But you know what we don't do, and I'm horrible at this, and I'm going to get better too, is we don't share stories. Like I'm going to do one later today about people that we help, people we're on the phone with. Like when we get off a call or a Zoom or an appointment or a closing, we could stop right then and there and do a story about, I just came out of a closing and this is what just happened in there. This people, I saved them from foreclosure. They called me. They were like, what just happened? These real life, we don't have to get like, we don't have to go get our hair done. We don't have to get our, like, this is real. That's what people want. They want to hear stories. And I'm terrible about doing that. Terrible.
And you're right, because that's my mindset. I'm like, I need to get my hair done and my outfit. And oh my gosh. And by the time I'm done thinking about it, I'm so exhausted. I'm like, oh, forget this.
And who has time for all that? No one. No. And you know what the data shows is also working? So check this out. So if you, and I don't do this either, but we have to start doing this. Yes. So, you know, when you're like doing content and it's the number of stories, it's the number of posts, it's all that stuff, all these things that have to be done. If we would just take the simplest transaction, whether it's a listing or a buyer transaction, and you break it up into 3 stages. So preparing for the listing, if you do 3 stories or 3 posts about that, like no one sees the behind scenes, like here I am running numbers on this, here I am going to the pre-staging appointment, like all of these things. Here I'm going to our staging warehouse to get some stuff. Then you're talking about, here we are hitting the market. Here we are live. Check out this new listing. We're doing a Facebook Live. We're doing an open house. Then when it gets into closing, like we just managed telling the story, like we don't document the whole thing. And if we would just, because we do a lot of transactions just like you do. So if we would just do that, can you think of the content that we would create? And it's real. It's not like we're using AI to create stupid videos. We're telling real life stories and showing behind the scenes of what we really do.
No, for sure. And then I get into my head and I'm like, I need a cover photo and the cover photo needs to be perfect and the font. And I just haven't found that person for our organization to handle that aspect of it. And if I do, they're so expensive. So I'm just like, oh, like right now I'm trying to build out the farm and we're trying to open up this business. So like I mentioned last time, there's things that I'm cutting back on, cost on. And I know that's something that I have cut back on, but I know that I need it.
Paul, what could Maggie do to help get some of that stuff off her plate cost effectively?
Come talk to me, Maggie.
You'll be my videographer.
Huh?
You'll be my and so I do have my son who I have my son that helps me, which is great. I just need to get back on it. I need to get back on my social media stuff because I do post and I have, I guess in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm closing a lot. I still have a ton of leads coming in on a weekly basis. And I'm still helping a ton of families. But I know I can turn it up a notch.
And I think though, in my head, I'm like, I agree, turning it up a notch. Yes. But I think turning it up a notch more on, because you help a lot of families. And like your customer service is like white glove. You go above and beyond more than what most people do. You are not the average person at all, but I don't think share enough about that. I don't think people see enough of the behind the scenes stuff of what you do. And if you yourself don't have hands on it, you even have someone else doing it, but at your direction, because it matters so much to you about your customer service and the experience that your clients go through. And I know it because I know you, but the public that doesn't know you and doesn't hear your conversations, they probably don't know that level of degree that you go to. And I think if you just shared that even on your own phone or having your mom or your dad, just like, and even doing it live when it's going on, like this is an Instagram story right here going on. You could, people would be like, dang, I wish my agent did that.
You're right. And
because you do a lot.
We do. We do a lot.
I
Tricia,
know.
You do a lot.
We do a lot.
Paul do a lot.
Yes.
I don't do anything. AI does it all.
Oh, whatever.
No, y'all do a lot, not only for your clients, but also for the team. I see how y'all are very involved.
We are.
Like,
But you know what's
Would have it
funny?
no other way.
We won, and I did I tell my kids this. I was like, you know what's crazy? You know how you get those Facebook memories that come up on your phone every day?
yes.
I think it was Saturday, a Facebook memory came up on my phone, and I shared a story about this yesterday. And it was me at the lake 5 years ago with an EXP hat on, and I remember that day, and we were at a lake, and at that time we did have a boat, but it was a different kind of a boat. It was a not like what we just got, and at that time, I was sharing this message with my kids. I said, at that time, I had been at EXP for several years, and EXP is a great organization. What was happening to me here locally, or what had happened to me here locally, just set us up for we were kind of stunted to grow. We tried and it just didn't work. It is what it is. I learned a lot through my experience there. My revenue share, our monthly income that we get as being part of this kind of a brokerage, I at one point got to $7,000, I think 7,500 maybe one time, and I was there 5.5 years. Okay, 5.5 years. One time I think it's 7,500. For the rest of the time, and I was growing it. I was pouring into agents. It's like I was constantly in leadership stuff. Most of the time, my monthly revenue was between 3,200 and 3,900. It was pretty consistent at that. Okay. Which is great. I was happy to have that. I iconed every year. So I got awarded stock money every single year. It's how I built up the massive amount of stock that I had. So I hit my numbers every year. What's crazy, and I said this on Saturday when that Facebook memory came up, is that at that time when that memory came up, I had probably been at EXP for 3.5 years. We have been at Realty of America less than 2 years because we haven't even been open 2 years yet. And here I am in a different position. My revenue share from Realty of America is double what my normal one was at EXP, and we're just getting started. Like
Wow.
we're not even 2 years in. That's the difference between, number one, us being in on the ground floor and helping build the company. That's number one. Number two, the structure of the company and the production of the company, of course. And then my commitment to helping grow the company by doing all the trainings that we do and growing my world, the people that I interact with, because I understand the weakness in the cloud-based brokerage and that model. And it isn't just the cloud-based model. It's like most companies don't have an office. Most companies don't really pour into their agents. And what ends up happening are that these agents become orphans and they're lost.
Mhm.
They're by themselves and they don't convert and they don't know what to say. So they quit. They don't do anything and they become part of the lunch bunch. They go do all the social media crap and they go to all the open houses and everything free that they can. And they have an imaginary bill payer. I don't have any of that stuff and I'm not going to.
I've
So
never
it's
been
like-
an orphan agent.
Yeah.
I bet.
The orphan agents are for real.
I
And
know.
I said,
Because
Yeah.
at my previous brokerage, even at my previous brokerage where I was at, I would see orphan agents walking around the halls, and I'm like, damn, like how are they not busy? I'm freaking slammed. Like I don't even feel like I have enough hours in the day, and there's no need to be an orphan agent.
there's not.
No.
And I think with what we are building and have built, even just so far in just this young infancy that where we're at right now, it just shows you that we're onto something good, great, and that what we're doing is working, And I think
Sure.
in the world of real estate, we're so wildly blessed because could you imagine like if you were at some company and all of a sudden you'd been there for 5, 6, 10 years and artificial intelligence rolls along and now your position's obsolete? What do you do then?
Oh my goodness. And I think everybody who has joined ROA, Realty of America, at least everyone around my sphere, our life has changed so much, Tricia.
It has.
Everybody, from Victor Nino to Diego to you, Amy, Maribel, just everybody's life is changing so much in such a beautiful way. And yeah, for sure. And you just want to pay it forward. You want the agents around you to learn what you're doing and to be successful like you.
But it also doesn't come like, and people say that like, it's not easy. It's so not easy. Like behind the scenes, we're constantly working. Paul's constantly building stuff. He's obsessed with building stuff. He's probably building something right now that I don't even know about. And there's like a constant like weight on you to perform, because that these agents' success is riding on our shoulders too, you know?
Yes, I do.
But we said we would do it.
Yes. And but I feel like last year I felt that weight a lot more. This year I'm pretty much on we're just going with it. And I even told Jose yesterday, we were at church and I was like, Jose, it's been like a good 8 months that I haven't had anxiety, because before I was just always anxious and always like, what if, and I need to push harder and I need to go and I need more and we need to do this and we need to do that. And lately life has just been, it's been pretty good. I feel like God is just directing us in all the right directions. All the doors that need to be open are opening. All the ones that need to be closed are closed. Everybody who needs to be around me is around me. Everybody who shouldn't be around me, we part ways, and it's been really good. I love this season that I'm in right now.
I love hearing that.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
Paul, do you believe that at this, with all, I mean, artificial intelligence has been around for a long time, but not to this degree. And at first, everybody was kind of freaking out, like COVID, where everyone thought COVID was going to kill everyone. Everyone thought AI was going to take all their jobs. It's like, okay, stop freaking out. Number one, now that people seem to have gotten a handle on a lot of the things, don't you find, Paul, that it maybe makes your job easier?
It does. It's that's honestly what they created it for. They created it for you to have more of your time back, and it's kind of like it's an opportunity for humanity as a whole to evolve. So all the tedious tasks that you do stop you from being the person that you want to be, that you were created to be, that you were meant to be. But if you understand, if you've done something continuously, like just repetitively over and over and over again, to where you know everything about it, you understand what you have to do. Like you clock in, you sit at your desk, you jam on the keyboard, you click a mouse around, you do these things over and over again, right? And that's just what you do every day. You become a hamster on a wheel, and you're just going to do that every day. And your brain is just going to focus on doing that same task every single day. And you'll never allow yourself any opportunities to learn anything else or expand your knowledge or do something more or layer something on top of that. Well, if you have the ability to understand what you do and you can articulate it, you don't even have to type it. You can verbally articulate what you did, teach your AI to do it, and now your AI will continuously do it for you. Now you have that time back to supervise, to see, to make sure that it's doing what you asked it to do, the way you asked it to do it, and you have more time to think of something to layer on top of that to make your service that much better. So it's not designed to take anybody's job. Maybe in the future, maybe like 5-10 years down the road, then we will all be on like some kind of standardized income, and we're all
Don't say that.
We're all relaxed and becoming farmers or whatever. Who knows? Going to Mars, going to learn how to do new things on Mars. We don't know where the future takes us, but I do know that right now it is designed to help you. 100% designed to help you to get some of your time back. So people that aren't using it, like, don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Like, embrace it. It's not a bad guy sitting inside of your computer. Right?
No.
I think, like, Maggie, you've been doing this 6 years now, right?
Yes, 6 years.
So you really got started when COVID came out.
Yes, I did. I want to touch on the AI with Paul.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like with coming to Realty of America and being introduced to you, you have been a game changer in our business, 100%. Because I feel like with AI, I knew about it. I knew about ChatGPT. I started off with that one. And That's it. I wasn't even paying for it. I think I had the free version. And then whenever you literally pulled me to the side and you're like, open it up. And I opened it up and he's like, what is this? You're using the free version. And I was like, well, yeah. And absolutely not. You need to pay the $20 a month. I think how much it is. And you set it up for me. But just having you come into our lives and teaching us about AI, I mean, AI is a part of our daily life now. My business is just, it flows so much smoother because of what I was taught by you. And I'm very thankful for that. And Jose, anytime we have any AI question, I was like, you need to call Paul. You're our guy to go to. So just to anybody who's never sat in on your class, they're truly missing out because there's so much that you go over.
Oh, he's going to do a new one.
Well, I can't wait to learn that.
Yes, remember? Okay, so he's trying to teach our morning group how to create their own agents. And it's complex. And our morning group's only 45 minutes in the mornings. And so all of our brains are not wired like Paul's are. So for him, he says like, do this. And everyone's like, you lost me at step 2. And you're now 10 steps ahead of us. And so they're like, can you go back here? And then he's like, sure. So he goes right there. And then the next one, like, oh, can you repeat that? And he's like, sure. And, oh, can you go back to that? And he's like, sure. You can't. And so I told him, you're going to have to do a class. So what did you say? You're going to do a 90-minute one or a 2-hour one? We're going to form it. And it's in person.
Oh, yes.
You said you can't teach it like that, not to that degree.
So I can go ahead, Maggie.
No, or for example, if you teach me those things, I'm just like, like what do you say? But I bring the people that I know will understand it. For example, in my world, it's Crystal, my son, or Jose. So if you're teaching that, bring that person in your life that should be learning it, that can go over it with you at home.
Yes.
Yep. But when you sat with me in the living room, when y'all sat with me in the living room, you had it. You understood it. You told it back to me.
I do, but I would rather be like lead generating.
Sure. I love to talk to operators. I love to sit down and go over things like on a detailed level. But and I
think our brains hurt him, Maggie, because our brains are like,
yes, definitely.
Well, I've learned lots of coffee and woosah. But the biggest thing is like I can teach people how to use Chat GPT, right? I could teach you on Zoom all day long, like how to use that. However, when you get into Codex, it's another level. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that it's going to ask you. There's a lot of permissions that you can give it or shouldn't give it. There's a lot of reviewing that you need to do. And in order to do that, I have to be in person with a lot of people because it can be alarming because the notifications that you're going to get can scare you. So it's good to be in person. I like being hands-on because when I first started teaching AI to agents, real estate agents, that was 2003. 2023.
That's like 2003.
Yeah, I'm a time traveler. 2023, I think, when I was showing everybody how to set it up, like how to set up your account to where it operated like you, but now it's evolved to where you don't have to do all those things. But I was in person, like everybody was sat down, laptops open. We did it all together, and I got accustomed to teaching people like in person, hands on. So when we got into Codex, I did find a way to teach everybody by using Tricia as the experiment. So tomorrow, Tricia's going to be the experiment, and I'm going to show them how to automate your AI to actually run value, not like, hey, ChatGPT, what is my house worth? Like actually pull up comps, like sold data, pending, everything. So I'm going to get Tricia to do it, and I'm just going to talk her through it on what to do on her screen. So wish us luck. But
you're going to make a class. We're going to have to bring that out.
It is going to be an in-person class in Houston. And I've got
Yeah.
my ROA class coming up this month, my 2-part series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to teach the ROA tech stack, follow up boss, close, real scout, and then the second, and I'm going to get our broker, our state broker, to come in and teach SkySlope. And on the second half, after everyone has learned it, I'm going to show everybody how to automate a lot of things using AI to get a lot of your time back and optimize it. So
I will have everyone there, my TC admin.
Put it on your calendar. It's this Wednesday, Paul.
it is this Wednesday. I have my curriculum down and my takeaway. So I'm excited.
Okay, let me make sure it's on my calendar so I can push it
And
out.
it's at the center.
It is at the center in Maribel's office.
Yes, I have it.
And now, even though we don't believe in putting things on the schedule in the morning, this one is on the schedule because it's a training for the brain. It's a skill set. You have to learn this stuff. It's important. Yeah. And it's in a central location. Maggie, one more thing I was thinking about before we end. Do you ever do Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives?
I don't.
You should.
I do not.
You should. Because you have stories to tell. That's
do.
how you could share a story. You could leave a listing appointment or a closing and get in your car and go live and be like, share it while it's fresh on your brain, what just happened and how, and their story. People watch that stuff. They tune in.
I know. I know there's some things I need to work on with my social media.
All real estate people, professionals need to. I say it to our people constantly. I'm like, y'all have got to start sharing. Like the just listed, just sold. Sure, we always see that and get it, blah, blah. But start sharing like the experience and the story. Yeah. Like these people never thought they were going to ever be able to own a home. Like Ava and I are handling a buyer right now. And she has been a challenge. My gosh, I don't know that without Ava involved in this, we would be making it. She's going to close this week. It's taken a lot of patience that I certainly have not had. So I'm like, Ava, but then and we're in a group message, but then she'll come in with some technical, like, serious question, like, and it's all been negative. She's a negative Nancy all day long, but somehow we've managed to keep her in the game. But she's been just so challenging that when this is done, like, I'm going to share a lot of the story, but Ava needs to too, because she's been the one holding it together. But quite honestly, like, her and I have had to lean on each other for support, because she'll call me and she'll be like, so-and-so is driving me crazy. I can't talk to her again today. Like, I can't stand her. And so then I'll jump in and I'll be like, hey, and I'm like the counselor to the buyer, like, this is what's going on right now. And this is why this is happening. This is normal, blah, 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 blah. So it's that having the people that you can have each other back,
We do that. I do that on my end. I have my mom and Crystal that I lean on, because I'm just like,
yes.
With the ones that I'm like, hey, this is going to drag on. I'll put in mainly Crystal. She's so patient.
And that's the beauty of having a team. That is the beauty of having a team. And I will say that when you're out there on your own, it's kind of like you can be put in a very strange situation, like a challenging situation in a real estate transaction. And if you don't have anybody to lean on or anybody with experience to ask these questions to, what will end up happening is you will not take care of your client. Your client will suffer because you didn't have anybody with experience that you could talk to. You can pass this off. Like, a lot of things can be solved with a simple conversation or an explanation. But if you don't have that person, then you do not provide a great service for your clients. So I 100% believe in teams, getting involved with the team, like our core values: coachable, accountable, relentless, enthusiastic, self-discipline. Those are super important. Mm-hmm. And as far as like the social media thing, you can get you can buy these exclusive on, just kidding. But the Tricia Turner starter kit, when I first met Tricia, she had like 3 selfie sticks in her purse. She had the 50-gallon drum purse. She had like 3 selfie sticks in there. She had the car magnet in her car. And at any point in time, if you saw Tricia, that selfie stick was going to fly out. She was going to freaking start, hey y'all, I'm with Maggie right now. Or she'd be in the car and she just hit play, and as she's driving, she's talking. That's all you need. It doesn't
I
have to
know.
be something spectacular.
And in
Selfie
my
stick.
mind, I'm still like, I need to hire the person so they can do the editing.
Get out of that.
I know.
All right, you guys. So we're coming up on an hour, so I want to keep everyone on schedule. Maggie, as we enter, or now we're not entering, we're in it, the second half of the year. For the real estate agents that are listening out there, whether they're new, whether they're having their worst year ever, like what is some key things they need to focus on for these last 6 months?
Dive in, be disciplined, have a plan, be true to your plan, and most importantly, things just need to be cleaned up in your faith, health, and at home in order for you to perform at a high level in business. I've always believed that. I still believe that. And if things are in order in those three, in your faith, family, and health, then you'll be able to. It'll show. You'll be able to shine through.
I love that. Paul, how about you? Last things these agents should be focusing on right now.
100%. Artificial intelligence is great. It's fun. It's an amazing thing. It can help you get your time back. But if you're not putting in the work, as in prospecting, generating opportunities, getting business, then AI can't help you. You need to focus on learning from the right people, paying attention to who you're paying attention to, and take massive actions in your career today in order to allow you the opportunity to utilize AI and all these great resources to 10x what you're doing.
Yes.
Real estate agents, you gotta do the activities. 100 conversations minimum, 100 conversations a week minimum. Do open houses. They freaking work. But don't just do an open house. Go and door knock before your open house. We talked about the strategy. We hope you guys have paid attention to it. And block off your calendar every single day until 12 o'clock. It is your hunting time. Stop going to the doctor. Stop doing stuff. Stop being the lunch bunch. Get out there and actually make it happen. And we'll see you guys again next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.